you did it.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Unfiltered Vet Discussions. My name is Kelly, and I'm being joined by Beth and Jenny and David today, and our various animals, like Beth, the puppy. Come on, the
Oh,
puppy.
oh my God, she ran away.
Oh no!
I can show you an alternative puppy.
So Beth is fostering a brand new, cute little puppy, and it's so cute.
Here's
This is a big.
Sparrow. He's my other foster puppy.
Boop.
Oh, wait, here she is.
Oh,
I
wait.
I like
have
that you
lots
have
of ducks.
alternative puppies to show.
Yeah. Oh, there we
There's the
go.
little one.
With the belly and the paws. I mean,
I
hello, how
know.
can we not start off
She's
the
so cute.
the podcast with a puppy love moment?
Yeah.
Yep. So we're going to be talking about, is it slow in your world today? Um, and before we get there, the little public service announcement, come like, follow us on all major social media platforms and podcast platforms. And please leave us your comments. We do read them. So we love hearing from you. All
And
right.
leave topics. If there's something you want to
Yeah.
hear,
Oh,
leave it,
yeah.
leave a
Yeah.
topic. We're open to
Yeah.
that too.
Yeah. Um, yeah. And we'll also all be at VMX too. So that's kind of good too. That's coming
Exciting.
up just around the bend, so to speak. So we started off Is Your World Slow? Because we're recording this in November, but you all might be hearing this in December or January. So we have the holiday season coming up for the United States, and any business, always in the United States at least, maybe in other countries, the last 2 weeks of December, regardless of your religious preference, tends to hit the skids because everybody, that's just the culture in the United States. And
Everyone's full of cheese and they don't know what day it is.
yes, and it also tends to be the fiscal year end for a lot of businesses on December 31st. So then there's that mad little scramble to get things done. But is there other considerations that makes it slow in your world? And we were talking about it, and Jenny and Beth, you were saying you're seeing some chatter out there about it, right? So, ladies, what are you seeing or hearing or reading?
So I'm a member of a lot of veterinary practice manager Facebook groups. It's really the only reason that I don't love social media, but I go on just because I don't want anybody to ever feel alone. But anyways, and right now there's a lot of people who are like, like a one veterinarian practice, and they're seeing maybe 5 appointments in a day. And the comments are ranging from Florida to Iowa to Michigan to all over the country that are really seeing this slowing down. I know for us personally, October is always one of our busiest months. It's very random, but September is typically a slow month for us. I say slow, and I don't like, we never aren't booking 2 to 3 months out. But it's definitely a slower month. I think everybody's going back to school, things like that. Beth, what do you see?
Yeah, so I'm in a bunch of similar like practice owners groups, and I've noticed some chatter as well of people being like, I'm really slow right now. Is anyone else slow? Are people seeing this? And same thing. Comments are ranging from right there in that boat with you to, oh my God, we're still booking out months. Our practice tends to kind of ebb and flow sort of throughout the year. And this time of year, we're generally pretty busy still. And I would say that that has held true for right now. Like we're busy as well. We're booking out wellnesses like a month and a half. Like we're sort of in the same boat as you that we're still pretty busy. But I can understand and I can see where other people are seeing a bit of a slowdown. And I think, this is sort of like the two-part conversation. Like, when you're seeing it slow, what are you doing to address that? And then, like, how also can you be looking ahead to try to prevent that in the future? Because a lot of our tactics have been preventative. So that way we're not in the moment where I'm like, oh
Right.
shit, I only have 4 appointments booked tomorrow. Like, what the hell am I going to do? So we know the times of year that we ebb and flow. So we're actually coming into the time of year that my practice is historically kind of slow. Like December, like as Kelly was saying, kind of a slower time. And then into January, because we're in Pennsylvania, it's cold, it's snowy. Sometimes we lose days to the weather, and it just tends to be kind of a slower time. So at the last like 3 years, we start taking new clients now and we book them out into end of December, January into February because we're very saturated at my practice, so we do not take new clients year round. So we do it in waves. So like we know this time of year we're coming into kind of some slower months. So we will advertise in the next couple of weeks that we are taking new clients for a limited period of time, and we take them based upon referral from existing clients, and we will like fill up our books ahead of time. So that way we're not getting to January and being like, oh crap, we have no appointments, which helps.
I love that you're aware enough to be proactive in that
Mhm.
sense. You've recognized the patterns and can take action on that and fill those times intentionally and not just being so caught in the moment that it's slow today and not seeing a pattern or seeking to understand the bigger picture. I wish more folks would do that. That's brilliant.
But David,
Yeah.
that goes to what you're always saying. Are you working on the business or are you in? Because in
I,
your world, David, your world is P&L sheets all day long. Profit and loss, balances, how are the financials of a business with the world you're in? So you see all sorts of snapshots. Are
yeah,
people
I
moving
see the
on?
aggregate, and over a 12-month period, it may not be as apparent because that's what we're always assessing, a full 12-month cycle. But anecdotally, at least, we have so many clients across our 9 states that we cover, and the folks I meet, speaking engagements and in the audience and talking with, and I am hearing more frequently, I'm slow, or it is slowing. We used to be booked out 3 months, now we're booked out 2 months, or we used to be, now it's a week. Or now we have openings at the start of the day, but by the end of the day, everything fills up.
Mhm.
Um, and so I'm hearing it more and more, not from everyone. Like the two of you, I have the majority of our clients are not taking new clients. They're slammed, they're cranking, but maybe about a third now. Initially, at the beginning of the year, it was maybe 10%. So it is slowly becoming a little more common.
Mhm.
Certainly, economic uncertainty
Mhm,
is playing a role. Um, we were talking before the session, just having clients that have government jobs, and they just do not have the money right now to pay at anything. So there's always outside influences or the practice that's in the town and the main employer just relocated. Yeah,
mhm.
yeah. But when it's an overall trend, like I think we are seeing develop, that gives pause. And I think this is the time then, like Beth, what you were just talking about, okay, that's where you are. Are you aware of it? And what are you going to do about it? I
Mhm.
have many clients that minimal social media because they don't want to attract the new clients. Well, maybe now it's time to reconsider. I love what you said that you're not just taking any new client, you want that client referral. You want more of the ones you like and
Mhm.
not just anyone. That's the
Um,
whole, yeah, if it's slow, make time to work on the practice, not just in it, whether you're the associate, the manager, the owner, and what are you going to do?
there
Mhm.
are marketing tactics, leaping off Beth, that some people may or may not know about called lookalike audiences online, where you can do advertising to lookalike audiences. And there's minimal thresholds on different platforms because each platform has their own rules. But let's just say overall, there are lookalike audiences. So you can upload like all your clients, which probably will freak out some people are like, what do you mean you're putting all my client email addresses in Google? And my answer is Google already knows you have all these clients. Like there is no secrets. It's just the illusion that we have the secret, right? But every piece of data that goes over the internet is read by multiple companies besides yours. So just, for that, I know it's a kind of a scary thing, but if you use AT&T, AT&T knows all your data. If you use an iPhone, if it's made in China, pretty much guess there's a back door and some Chinese guy somewhere is reading your stuff. So it's, it's out there.
Like right now you're crushing the soul of a lot of people who are like, no, I'm really making good choices and I have a lot of firewalls. And you're like, yeah, no.
No. Like they don't talk about it, but and then all of a sudden, if I start talking about parrot food today, I'm going to start seeing ads for parrot food, and I don't own a parrot, right? I'm a proud dog owner, not a bird owner. I don't do well with birds. They end up dying. So birds are not for Kelly. But what I'm saying is there are ways that if you love your client base and you're like, oh my God, I love all my clients. I would like more of them, please. Hit, repeat and rinse. You can build ads where Google or the other platforms will go, well, I'm going to take this database and I'm going to go find other people because they know all about you, whether you like it or not. And they can show your ad to that other group of people to bring them in the door versus just everybody out there with a heartbeat. Like you're on the internet and you have a heartbeat, well, then we get to show your ad. Does that make sense?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah.
So,
very targeted.
Very targeted, very segmented. But if you just go and hit boost or hit general ad, you won't get those people. You'll just get the universe out there, however your ad. So they either you learn to do that yourself, which marketing is getting harder and harder to do it DIY. I mean, doing your own social media posts and things like that and uplifting them, it's still, but I mean like the ads and things behind that, and then reading the reports and staying up with Google and AI everywhere. It's kind of it's a daily moving target. But think about that. But you should start now, like Beth is. If you want new clients in January, then you start marketing now. If you want new clients in February, you start marketing now. There's a 3 to 4 month runway.
Yeah, especially when you want to book them out for the intentional, hey, we know we're going to be slow over Thanksgiving, the holiday break, New Year's into January.
Also, a lot of new pets around holidays in some areas are given as gifts, whether that's appropriate or not. There's feelings about
Makes
that
me
either way.
cringe.
Yeah, everybody's like, no, don't do that.
Yeah.
There are
I think
gift cards, right? Like, do you guys do gift certificates for just because, if that's given in December, then that gets utilized the first quarter of the year, typically, right?
So to add two things to what Beth was saying about new clients, but we have a list that goes, we haven't taken new clients, new small animal clients since 2020. Because we've been trying to hire a fifth vet. Like there's only so many hours in a day. Okay. But I have a list of clients that are looking to come in. And I make a list on there like this person was referred by this person. So then I'm like, oh yeah, that's a great client. I want to bring that person in, right?
Yeah.
So if you're referred by somebody, it's going to go a lot further. And we have that list. And I still, like last night, I had somebody come in and go, so are you taking, my friend's really been trying to get in here. Are you taking new clients? And I'm like, not yet, but our new vet's going to be like ready to go in, January, hopefully. So then we'll open back up. But I have a whole list that we have phone numbers, emails, and if they're not still looking, fine. But if they are, great. Like we've been keeping that. So maybe if you're not taking new clients in the summer months or spring, then say, hey, we might open back up come November or December. So can I get your information now? Yeah. To the other thing, Kelly, that you were talking about, like gift certificates and having money come in later. My CPA used to give me a really hard time because I always had a lot of money in my money market account. I'm a person who I'm a saver. I'm a spender too because I'm obsessed with Disney. But I am also, like I remember very clearly we had a substitute teacher in elementary school. His name Mr. A. Could never pronounce his last name because it was a long German name. But he said if you put 10% aside of everything that you save for the rest or of everything that you make for the rest of your life, you'll be a millionaire by whenever. And this is, last century. So $1 million was a lot of money. And so I always remembered that. So like my savings account personally is nice and robust. And, I know not everybody can save. And when we couldn't, we didn't. But as soon as we were able to, money started going in. So I have this huge money market account, and my CPA would be like, Jenni, that money, it's earning interest, but like
Yeah.
tiny. Not
Fractional.
yeah, it's really quite pathetic. But I was like, nope, it's my, in case all hell breaks loose. Then COVID hits and all hell broke loose. And I had team members that mentally couldn't come in, physically couldn't come in, were concerned about older people at home, but they still had to make money. So I made sure everybody got paid. That was my decision as a practice owner, private practice owner. I made sure everybody got paid for the full time because we didn't know what the hell was going on.
Right.
Right. The people who came into work got different benefits, maybe got raises, because they were still trying to cut, but everybody got paid across the board. I depleted that my money market quite quickly. So now come spring, when we're overflowing with equine and small animal vaccines, and like that's like our we'll go out and do a barn with 75 horses. That's a significant amount. So then I'll put all this money into the money market. So come January and February, again, Beth, to your point, we're in New Hampshire. Sometimes weather like I don't want people
Weather plays a role.
It does.
Plays a role.
It does. And I try to send everybody home, and I try to, we try to be safe. Our clinic is attached to our house. So my husband and I might stay on. My receptionist who lives a half mile up the road might stay on. We have beds here. So sometimes some of my team members are like, I don't even want to drive home. They make it in and it gets bad. So they just spend the night. But we'll be on a skeleton crew and we'll send as many people home as we can. We tell clients not to come in. I still have that money there. So in saving during your busy times for that rainy day fund, or in my case, that snowy day fund, right? That helps to kind of plan ahead for these times when things are slow, whether it be, we can plan it because we know December's, the holidays are coming, or we can't plan it, i.e. government shutdown, i.e. national or world pandemic, right? So I think that there are ways to be financially thinking ahead and saying, I'm not going to get caught with my pants down and be like, oh my God, no, what do we do? Right, Kelly, marketing's great, but what if I don't have the money to spend on it,
And that drives home the point that my preaching is your practice financially healthy. Because if you are 14 to 18% profitable as opposed to the average 10 to 12, then you can weather a slowdown. You can weather the fact that a semi truck just drove through your reception area and you need to find a rental trailer. And I mean, because insurance doesn't pay right away. You can weather the slowdown or the pandemic because you have that cushion. Now, I'm a big fan of having an emergency fund like you just described for the business, not just personally, because then you are prepared a little better for the slowdown. But I think also coming back to what we had mentioned, okay, it is slow. So now what are you going to do? And certainly marketing's one thing, but you're being given time maybe to work on the practice. And if you only saw half as many appointments that day, well, what'd you do it the rest of the time? Everybody sit around and talk about, I don't know what the popular show is right now. Game of Thrones back in the day. But or did everybody sit down and say, okay, hey, let's look at our new client onboarding process.
Right.
How can we get more of them to stay and to become educated to our style or our workflow, looking at team utilization workflow efficiency, because it's not going to stay that way. It will get busy again. And if you've used the slow time to prepare for the fast time, you're going to be working smoother, which is better for the business, better for the pets, better for the employees, the clients, everyone, when the team's working well and efficient. Good medicine, good business, having both in a fixed cost business. Yeah, use that time, especially to give thought to team utilization.
Yeah.
I have a question, and maybe all of you can tell me the answer. So during slow times, I recommend also, besides marketing, and David, if you don't have money, you have time, right? We're just talking about having time and working on things. How much do you guys hear on all your social media groups or people you talk to? How much of those is anybody talking about that I am going to leave the confines of the practice and go to a chamber social in town, or I'm going to go join the Lions or the Rotary or whatever. I mean, every town has groups and every town has different groups. So they're not all the same groups. Like in my area, I have 3 different chambers I can go to, and I do. I go and talk to them, partly for the farmers market, but just also I just want to hear what people are saying, like about their businesses and how practices are going. So I go with ears open, but everybody's chitter chatting. Who are you? What do you do? Like, I mean, when you make those external connections, it's some of your time, a cup of coffee, but it could bring more business to your door. So does anybody do that?
Yeah, we do some community networking, and I think there's definitely value in that. Like I've gone and spoken at like our local Lions Club before, and my I have a I have a dog rescue, which I know I've mentioned a few times. So I through that we do like a ton of community outreach. Like we just hosted a free vaccine clinic last weekend. So like I'm able to do like a lot of community networking because of the rescue being associated with my practice. And it has been like a really, really huge benefit because it increases our visibility with the local community. Our goodwill with the local community is like really high. I mean, at some point, we should probably do a podcast where I talk about why I think having a rescue associated with your practice can be a good thing if it's done right. Because I feel like
Done
working
right.
with rescues has kind of a negative aura sometimes because of the ones that don't do it properly. But I think if you do it properly, it can actually be such a huge benefit to your practice. So for my practice personally, it has been a huge part of local community networking and attending local events kind of as the rescue slash my practice, which means that our community is like very well aware of us, which I think helps too with building in additional business and also building trust with the clients that you already have. So even when they're pinching pennies, then they're going to be more willing to spend XYZ for the test that you're recommending because there's a relationship there where they trust you more. That's like that whole other half of it too, of like the clients you already have. How can we be partnering with them better to be mutually beneficial, that they're doing more services, providing better care for their pets, and is also making more money. That's like the whole other half of it too, like working on your business instead of in your business. What are our protocols in place to try to build those relationships? Because that I sort of spiral off of your question a little bit, but that's where my brain goes with that sort of a thing.
I mean, that is exactly what I was asking. Like, but you're unusual. Like, you're willing to go open the door and walk out. Because I've talked to other people about it, and they're like, "What? Like, you want me to actually go talk to humans?" And I'm like, actually.
Well, veterinary professionals are socially awkward.
Yeah, I understand that.
It's just
Guilty.
but you can open your door even like in that case, yes, the rescue, you're looking for animal, like, it's animal related. But you can even open your door in other ways. What if you host a blood drive? We're hosting a CPR AED. So over the summer, I actually had the unfortunate event of doing CPR on a man, and we used an AED to save his life while we were hiking, which is like a whole different, I don't know, episode, I guess. But afterwards I was like, okay, we need an AED in our clinic. Like I was so freaked out because it literally was like, I think because we're so rural, it took where we were hiking, it took 42 minutes from when he went down to when they came, and we were doing CPR on him almost the majority of the time.
Oh,
So anyways,
God.
so I came back, I told the story to my team. Great. Now, as a team get together, we're hosting a CPR and AED certification. We have the space for that. But that's not even, has nothing to do with animals, right? It's just a way to get people in. The the New Hampshire Horse Council had a similar thing where a rider had a heart issue and fell off a horse at a competition. And so now they're like, barns, places where competitions are held need to have AEDs and people need to be trained.
Yeah.
They don't have the space to have that training done. So in December, we're opening up our doors for somebody. I mean, it's the New Hampshire Horse Council, but for them to come in and use our space for the same training. So, like thinking outside of the box, Rotary is a service organization, but it's also a networking, great. So, maybe a dentist is in there and you go, oh, hey, I'll take, maybe your team members on, as clients, are they looking for, like, I know my personal dentist, the majority of them come to us and the majority of our team members go to them. Like, we're like, we swap, but it's just opening up thinking, even not animal related, but other ways. And you're right, Kelly, it's really scary to open up the door and it's really scary to put yourself out there. But it's also really scary to not have income. If you're only having hundreds of dollars coming in and it costs thousands of dollars to stay open per day, that should be scarier than
Yes.
stepping outside your comfort zone and saying, okay, I'm gonna join a group. Like I'm very active in my church. Everybody in church knows if they have a problem with their animal, all they have to do is say, well, I go to Jenni's church, and then we're like, okay, fine, yeah, you can come in. Like that's the back door to get into the clinic. It has nothing to do with animals, but that's where my passion lies. So yeah, sometimes even though things are scary, what's scarier?
Right. And why are you holding yourself back internally with this? Right?
It's
Like I
okay to
just
be
had this,
awkward.
Yeah.
I'm talking to my child about this today on text. Like, so you need to talk to your professor. Like, well, I don't want to. Like, okay, why? And we're in the midst of that conversation because there's fear there, right? Like, and I'm like, honey, this is a lifelong thing. Like, you're going to have to deal with
Yeah.
this outside of school. School is just a place to practice it and it's sort of a safer environment. And it's actually not as hard as you think in school as like in the greater world. Like, I'm making hundreds, not thousands. How do I put myself out there? Where do I go find it? I'm like, school's built in for all that. Like, all those things are already decided, right? You just got to show up. But that fear is so hard. But, like, if anybody listening to this, your local chamber of commerce makes it easy. You show up, you get a cup of coffee, they do introductions. It's
Little
like,
name tag.
yeah, a little name tag. In ours, we all stand in a circle and everybody goes around the rooms and says, hey, I'm Kelly, and this is these are my businesses, and this is the big event we have coming up. So I learned a lot of things that I didn't, really cool things I didn't know. Like they're starting a whole thing for seniors so they need drivers to pick up seniors in January and February to get them to social things in the community center. Well, that's kind of cool, right? Like you could bring that back to your team members in the veterinary hospital and say, anybody have extra time to be drivers? Because
Well, and you could look at something like that and say, okay, what can we do? Can we go to these people's houses and trim toenails? Like,
yeah,
I know not everybody is a mobile clinic, but that's an opportunity there that you could say, okay, no, I'm not going to go out and buy the big fancy mobile unit, but can I throw a pair of nail trimmers in my car and drive to the senior area and say, hey, we're going to be here on this day and we'll do nail trims for 15 bucks a pop or whatever, because
right,
they're on a fixed income. But that's the whole getting out there and thinking outside of the box.
Yeah.
correct. And I love that, Jenny, because here, and all of us ladies are in winter states. They don't get out if the roads are bad, period.
No.
Like, we don't want them out.
No.
right? Like, in
And
addition
the
to,
semi goes through your front of your vet clinic because it's not a good idea. Well, maybe not a semi in that case, but
Yeah.
yes.
but
Snowplow.
the grandmother who's 90 in the minivan, like, just stay home,
Not good.
please. This is
Yeah.
not a good day to be going out there. But yeah, and I was surprised. It was a huge conversation here in one chamber thing that it was all about seniors and one senior homes. Like, we're opening our doors to our extra rooms just so seniors can come and rent for 3 months, even if they own their own home and don't need to be here the whole time, because we don't want the winter isolation because
That's
it's hard
cool.
on people's mental health. And I'm like, that is, you people are so cool. Like, you know, like that.
Yeah.
They're thinking about that. And
Well,
it
and
is,
that's a great example of thinking outside the box right there.
right?
It is.
It's just a
And
short-term thing.
yep. And I think, just to dovetail some ideas for people out there who are like, well, now I've been caught with my pants down. What do I do? So these are the type of things you can do. And to speak from experience in my practice, like Jenni was saying about nail trims, we'll advertise a nail trim day. We won't even discount it. We just say, hey, we have an extra nurse
Today's the
and we're
day.
going to do a whole day of nail trims. Give us a call because sometimes it's hard to get in for a nail trim because we're busy and we're booked. So we will advertise that and that books up immediately. We do a cat clinic 2 or 3 times a year on a Sunday where my team volunteers and they get paid, but they give up their Sunday and we have no appointment needed. Existing clients, you have a cat that's overdue, come on in. We reach out to all of our vendors. We get the vaccines donated, so we do free rabies vaccines. They pay for the exam. We apply a free dose of Revolution if they want it. 10% off blood work and stuff. And we always see anywhere from, 50 to 75 cats in like a 3 hour period with three of my doctors. And like I give my doctors extra PTO for giving up their day off. I pay my team time and a half, but we like knock it out of the park every time that it is very financially worth it to get the cats in. And we do seminars. We have a grief team that we have our clients come in and talk about grief. We've done seminars on behavior and training. What are the vaccines you should get your new puppy? Like there's a million ideas of ways to open the door for
Yeah.
even just inside your practice. What are things we can do when we're a little bit slower or to reach some of the people we're currently not reaching to just get them in the door? Because then if they're there for a nail trim, and my team has been amazingly trained. So again, like the idea of using your downtime to make sure your processes are in order, they look, oh, hey, your dog is actually also due for a drug monitoring panel because your dog is on fluoxetine year round. Do you want to do that while you're here today for your nail trim? And those are like captured income moments because now the
Yeah.
client is there in front of you where they otherwise wouldn't have been. So
And
it's
it's
like,
good medicine. It's good
yes,
medicine that would
That's
have been
good
pushed to the
medicine.
side, right? Because,
yes,
oh, well, but if you're only there for that instead of when you're there for the exam and the vaccines and da 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 da, and the price just keeps going up and up. If I'm just there for a toenail trim and well, this blood work added to it, okay, well, it's still going to be not $500, right? So that's right.
yep.
And to your point, Beth, when you said, so we do seminars too, and we start them, we call them our winter seminar series because we're too busy. And we do like a horse one week and a small animal the next week. And we have donations come in. We also do it on Facebook Live. So if it's bad weather, we're still up there and, they can hear it and comment. I have had to kick a couple people off because they're obnoxious. But it's a great way to reach out, even if you don't really love social media, even if you don't have the space. I have this huge meeting. If you don't have the space, your doctors are smart people. They can still go on Facebook Live. You can do
Yeah.
a Zoom. Anybody can set up Zoom now. COVID
Mhm.
made it so easy, right? To make this world a smaller place.
Yep.
That's a great opportunity to just be like, hey, this is why we recommend heartworm prevention. This is how it's spread. People are like, oh no, they have the tick collar. That has nothing to do with heartworm,
Right.
So maybe we need to talk about that. Why do we need to be on it year round? Because my pond didn't freeze fully last year. It's not as cold as it used to be, like having these conversations and making it relatable, because sometimes when you're in the exam room, you got to get to the next one. So, right, it's all those opportunities. I like, David, when we started talking about this and you were like, opportunities. So many people look at this and go, oh my God, it's horrible. Or
Yeah,
it's an opportunity.
it's an opportunity. Yeah.
Mindset.
So let's leave it there. Beth just gave a whole list of ideas that Jenni just added more to her list of ideas, and we
We
capped
might
it
have to
off.
change the name of this session.
Yes, right?
Opportunity of being slow. That should be
Yeah.
the name of it.
Yes.
That's the name. I'll tell the team. Yep, opportunity of being slow, because there is like half glass, half full concept, right? Like we can sit in the corner and cry, or or emotionally eat, always a favorite, but or we can, I have a chocolate stash for a reason, Jenni. I do.
I'm not, listen, there's no judgment here at
That
all.
is
Don't
fair.
you worry.
Right?
I have
So
cupcakes right outside my door right now.
children equals chocolate stash. So yes. Mm-hmm. Because they come up with things that just stress a parent right out in a heartbeat. Like,
Sure do.
right? And you're just like, I can't make this up. So what we're encouraging you to is opportunity of slow time, just to sum it up, because Peter's not here. Just don't sit there throwing the ball against the wall and wondering what you're going to do. Yep. Either work on your business with processes and look at your P&L sheet, go through all your software licenses, because there's probably you're paying more than what you're actually using for. I mean, good housekeeping practices. I brought that up because my CFO always tells us that. How's the software? I'm like, good point. So we look at it, but the same goes for veterinary. Are you stocked up? There's a million things that you guys can list that just can go through. But
Deep
also,
cleaning always needs to be done. Deep cleaning.
yes, yes. But find ways to be creative and out of the box. That's what all four of us are encouraging you to do. Even just pick one and give it a go, right? It just starts with one. So until next time, we look forward to chatting with you all, and have a fantastic day.
Bye.